Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, man, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, Kenny Stubblefield in the building. Kenny, what's going on, my guy?
Man, dude, I love doing this show. It's a highlight of my day, man. I'm excited.
Man, it's all good. Same here, man. I'm glad you feel that way. I upgraded the digs a little bit, man. I got the people. My background was on fire last time we did a show. Now I got the water going in reverse, droppings of water going in reverse. I don't know if y'all see that in my thumb right here. Then I got my Tony Stark, whatever it's called, bro. You know, straight out of Tony Stark chest. I got Wolverine in the back. Yeah, man. Just made a couple changes.
Looks good, dude.
It's all good. It's all good, man. But
your backgrounds are unmatched, man. I will say that. Like your background.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, man. I'm trying to do that. But yeah, I got Thanos up there at the top.
Yeah, there he is.
Got my Thanos. All this, y'all know what it is, man. But,
I love it.
Got the gauntlet, but yeah, man, just trying to, you know what I'm saying, take my little stuff to the next level, man. But anyway, bro, really just trying to burn 10 minutes real quick so I can talk like I want to talk about the NBA draft lottery. Kenny Stubblefield, NBA draft lottery was Monday night. This is the first time that the draft lottery came and I didn't know it was coming. Like I wouldn't. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot all about it. You know, it's always been a kind of weird times, man. It used to be. It seemed like it was like conference finals game one they would always put it in.
Yeah,
but I might be wrong. But yeah, we got the NBA draft lottery. And Kenny, I put a poll out the day of the lottery, asking people your thoughts on the lottery. Right? Do you think that it's fixed? Do you think it's every year is fixed? Do you think they fix it when they need to? Or do you think that is, or do you not have a brain? Like that was the third option, right? There was no option allowed that allowed you to say
no.
That you didn't think that the draft was rigged, right? And then of course it played out. We saw that the Dallas Mavericks will have the number one overall pick in the NBA draft, followed by the San Antonio Spurs, who will be at 2. Kenny Stubblefield. The 76ers will be at 3. The Hornets at 4. The Jazz at 5, and the Washington Wizards, who had, I think, the worst record in the league. The worst record.
Was it them or was it Utah?
I'm not sure. Might have been Utah. But anyway, they are in 6. I put a tweet out Monday morning as well, saying that I think that Cooper Flag is headed to Brooklyn. I've shared why I thought that would happen throughout the year, and I said if he doesn't go there, he's going to Dallas, and it happened.
So you said Dallas. You said Dallas.
I said I think he's going to Brooklyn, and that 1% is to Dallas, and I explained that the reason why, the whole Lakers thing, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
And bro, I'm listening to the Gabe Coons of the world, the Christian Fowlers, and I'm just listening to the radio today, and people are just leading the conversation with, oh man, just the luck and the 1% ball, and everybody's just like, bro, cut the shit, bro. Like this is the most rigged bullshit I've ever seen in the history of the NBA lottery, bro. Like, and I'm an NBA conspiracy theorist, bro. But it's like, and for the people who say that it's not a conspiracy, like, and people say, well, it's just coincidence, right? I'll throw this out to you. When does it not look like this? Like the only time you can say, I don't think they do it every year. I think that on years that there's not a major player, they may do this whole little cool ping pong ball thing that y'all think they're doing. I think they may actually do it when there's Andrea Bagnani, who's the number one pick in the draft, right? Or
Anthony Bennett.
Or years when there's a Risha Shea or what's the other kid that came from Washington, right? The big
Sarr.
Last year. Sarr. Yeah. Send them out east. I don't care. Just whatever. Like I think they do that type of stuff with his guys who aren't just that big of a deal, right? But every year that it's been a major guy, like a big name dude who's coming out number one, it's been fun. It's been this weird coincidence that y'all speak of. Y'all cannot tell me of a regular ass year where it felt like it wasn't weird. Like that's the thing. That's to the people who keep back and say, "Oh no way, it is real. It's all coincidence." Okay, so you tell me it's a coincidence every time?
No.
Every time, like Derrick Rose goes to Chicago and LeBron James goes to Cleveland.
Patrick
And
Ewing
that's
was in New York.
and let's look at the footprint of the LeBron James stuff, bro. Just to dig deep into the conspiracy. LeBron James is coming out of high school is the biggest prospect of all time, right?
All time.
He goes to his hometown. He goes to his hometown. Get yourself a feel. This is also a guy that high school you might want to make sure he's in a friendly environment where he won't fail. Because we need this kid to succeed. We're not sending him to LA. We're not sending him to Chicago. Let him be where he'll be comfortable, right?
Right.
So LeBron James comes out. He goes to his hometown of Cleveland. And that also is going to speak to another theory, stimulus theory, the small market stimulus theory that I have. I'm going to talk about later on as far as this draft conspiracy that involves your Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
He goes there. He's the number 1 pick. He leaves Cleveland. The very next season, they get the number 1 pick in the draft, which was ended up being Kyrie Irving. And then they got it for, I want to say, the next 3 years. Cleveland won the number 1 pick in the draft. And we're like, oh man, what luck? I'm like, come on, bro. Like, y'all real.
Let's not bury the lead on that. He left Cleveland to go to Miami to form the Heatles, right? To form one of the biggest, like in terms
most controversial moves in the history of sports for him to
storylines around teaming up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Like it was really good for the bottom line of the NBA for them to get together.
Yeah, for sure. And then Cleveland is clearly compensated through the lottery to get 3 number 1 picks in a row, if not 4. I want to say it was 3. I want to say it was Kyrie Irving and then Anthony Bennett and then Wiggins, right? And that was the 3 years
of
LeBron
was in a row. Was that in a row? Yes, you're right. Yeah.
No, it wasn't in a row though. It was it 4 years they got it.
Let me see.
Let me pull it up.
Your number ones. This is really good podcasting. I should have done.
Yeah, just dead air right here.
Yeah.
I'm looking up draft lottery history. Yeah, really dead air. But yeah, for a while, Cleveland got the number 1 pick, man, for a long time. I know it was at least 3 years in a row. Right? And then LeBron, when he comes back to Cleveland, Cleveland gets the number 1 pick again, and that number 1 pick goes out to Minnesota to get Kevin Love to Cleveland.
It was Kyrie in 2011, Anthony Bennett in 2013, Andrew Wiggins 2014.
So it was 1 year off.
So 2012 they didn't get it.
3 out of 4 seasons they got it. Who got it that year?
2012. Let me see. I'm fat fingering this thing. NBA draft. It was Anthony Davis with the Pelicans.
Oh, thank you. So let's go into why that happened, right?
Let's go there.
Into that one. Anthony Davis was traded. Chris Paul was traded from the Oklahoma City / New Orleans Hornets, Pelicans, whatever.
Right.
And the NBA took over that team that did not have an owner. They didn't have an owner. The NBA took over that team, right? The next year, the NBA's team gets the number 1 pick in the draft.
And gets Anthony Davis.
And they get Anthony Davis. As compensation for Chris Paul leaving that team and them getting him to a major market with the Clippers. Come on, man. Like, it's every time, bro. LeBron comes back. They get the number 1 pick again. That number 1 pick goes out to Minnesota,
right,
to get Kevin Love there. Take you back to Patrick Ewing, of course. The San Antonio Spurs getting David Robinson and Tim Duncan 2 years in a row. I'll take you back before then. The Orlando Magic expansion team. They get Shaquille O'Neal. They are 1 game away from the playoffs, and they make it. They were a 500 team. They make it. They get the number 2 pick, then the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. An expansion team. After that, they start to prove where expansion teams can't do that.
Right.
They can't get the number 1 pick. What's more of them? Anthony Davis, when he gets traded from the Pelicans to the Lakers,
right?
The Pelicans get it again in 2019. Who got the number 2 pick that year? Kenneth Stubblefield.
The Memphis
Grizzlies got it.
Yeah.
Because they do some shit with the number 2 picks too, man.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies got the number 2 pick that year. Why did they get the number 2 pick? And what's another reason why New Orleans got that pick? The year before that draft, Adam Silver began talks about expanding the league. He was getting kickback from the owners, saying, "Why are we talking about expanding the league when you got
The Grizzlies.
teams
You
like
got
Memphis, you got
Pelicans.
teams like New
Yeah.
Orleans who are in small, struggling markets, right?"
Right.
That next summer, the 2 picks of the draft go to the teams with the worst, 2 of the worst odds to get it. The Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans go 1 and 2. Your 2 smallest markets in the NBA get Zion Williamson and John Morant. And we did not expect Zion to be injured like this, but
Right.
John Morant coming to Memphis probably saved the Grizzlies from being a team with a target on their back as far as getting up out of here.
Expansion.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Or moving a team. Yeah.
And move, yeah. I mean, we if you go back to where we were at that time, things were looking rough here in Memphis, man. And John Morant coming here definitely saved the whole situation. Like we said, Derrick Rose to Chicago, LeBron James to Cleveland, and these other things that we've shared. And I'm sorry, Victor Wembanyama going to San Antonio, a team that's known for international players, known for bigs. Greg Popovich is getting ready to retire. It's slide over to the GM role. Come on, bro. It's all making sense. And don't think and they so slick with the whole Dallas thing.
Right. That's
they just slid the Spurs getting number 2 in on y'all ass. We didn't even.
Let's not forget about that. Like what that means, right? The Spurs get the number 2 draft pick, which
it's so crazy, bro.
Let me ask you this. I sent this in the group text and you shot it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think none of that's gonna happen.
That's not a Giannis asset. No. The number 2 draft pick.
We're gonna talk Giannis in a minute. I forgot to give you that as a bullet point, but I guess we can talk about it now. But let me wrap up this whole draft thing.
Okay.
I got a couple things to talk about in this draft note because if you're gonna say it's a conspiracy theory, y'all got to get off Nico Harrison dick because you can't blame him for the deal when you're saying it's a conspiracy when it clearly was. There's the other part of the conspiracy was, hey, we're going to take Luka Doncic from you. Bro, I ain't going to lie, man, because I hear people talk about this stuff, and I heard it on the radio today. I heard it in podcasts today. Like, bro, what part of people's brains looks at a deal where Luka Doncic got traded and nobody even knew he was available to get traded? Like, there's like this stealth Luka Doncic trade that happened at midnight, and like no teams even knew that he was even on the market. Bro, that should have been the red flag that some bullshit is coming, bro. Like, that should be the bullshit that Nico Harrison didn't do that on his own. Like, and they're doing this stuff like in plain sight, bro. Like they literally said, okay, LeBron's about to retire. And this is the part that people have to understand in my conspiracy brain, not just conspiracy brain, my common sense brain, right?
Right.
If you look at the whole Luka Doncic, why he went to LA thing, the San Antonio Spurs had a run where they were one of the best teams in the NBA. Kenny Stubblefield. During that run, they were an exciting team. The casual fan didn't want to see the San Antonio Spurs, but they were one of the best teams in the league. They beat the Heatles. They beat everybody. That team they were a really good team for a long time with Greg Popovich, right? What else was going on while those teams were good though, Kenny Stubblefield, that helped the NBA? Your best team is boring. So what else was going on?
I don't know.
You had Kobe Bryant in LA, who was Kobe, and you had LeBron James, who was one of the biggest stars in the world. It don't matter what market he's in, but you had these 2 mega stars that were also playing in your league alongside the San Antonio team that was very good. Right now, what do you have? The best teams in the league are the Boston Celtics, a team that plays ugly, shooting a bunch of 3-point basketball. Jason Tatum isn't that transcendent star like that. Even though they're in a big market, Jason Tatum isn't that big, super marketable star, right? You've got Oklahoma City Thunder, very good team. Nobody wants to see him. The Cleveland Cavaliers, very good team. Nobody wants to see him. Nobody wants to see the effing Indiana Pacers, right? The Knicks, they're always going to be good, which is another reason why they're not going to send a big star to New York because it's the waste of a big star. Because New York is going to blow up anything. Like that's a huge market. They don't need a big star there to get NBA eyes from New York, right? That's going to happen regardless. You don't have to send Zion Williamson there, right? You can throw Jalen Brunson there, right. and they'll love it, right? You know what I mean?
They'll turn him into a big star.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You don't have to send the transcendent rookie there because he's going to be fine.
Right.
But what was I saying? Help me out. But now in today's NBA, LeBron's out the door, Steph's out the door, KD's out the door. I've got to get a Luka Doncic type player out of Dallas and get him to LA because even though these other teams are great teams, I got to have that megastar because New York is fine. They're a good team, so I got that thing figured out. I got to do something to keep LA. You know what I mean? Keep the Lakers. You know what I mean? So that's why Luka went there, and that's why Nico Harrison been talking plenty of shit because he knew they're gonna take care of me one way or another. Because either this team's gonna be good, and they're gonna still take care of me some type of way, or they're gonna give me the number 1 pick in the draft. And like, bro, what do you need to see to understand that that's exactly what happened the other night, bro? Like, I see people act like I saw Gabe Kuhn talk about this. I saw my guy Connor Dunning talk about this. Like, one side of me thinks like, bro, no side of me thinks that shit was legit, bro. And like, I've seen people talk about stuff like, well, I was in the room. This is what it got me. My boy Drew Hill was like, "Oh, I was in the room." And Mike Water, "Oh, I was there." First of all, nobody gives a damn that y'all were there, bro. You know where I was, Kenny Stubblefield, and I saw some other fake shit. A magic show. I was there, and I saw what I thought I saw. I didn't see, bro. Like, it didn't happen like that. They cut a lady in half,
but it looked real as hell.
It looked real as hell. Yeah. But that whole thing with the whole ping pong balls is something that could be easily rigged, bro. Like, it's a machine, bro. It's technology. Like this, it can easily be rigged, bro. Like, you can use magnets, you can use weighted balls or light ball or whatever. You can do whatever you got to do, bro. And like, if it ain't no bullshit to it, show us. Take us in the room. Let us see how it works.
They used to. They did.
Go ahead.
No, they did for a little bit, right? Like, they showed the ping pong process when it didn't matter, but now it matters.
And they know that if they show it, man, somebody's gonna slow that shit down and say, "Oh yeah, man, they're using this. Like, this is how they're maneuvering the balls. This is how they're doing all that."
Yeah,
that's why they're not showing you the whole process on TV, man. Because people will get on their computers and slow that shit down, and they'll show look at how these balls are doing this, and look at how they're spinning. Now look at how these balls. People will find all the bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
But my guy Keith Parrish, I was listening to Chris Harrington today. And Keith Parrish probably came up with the easiest way to kind of deal with the whole tanking thing and to deal with the whole whatever this is. And it's using a point system. Shout out to Keith Parrish. This is a dope idea to me. He said, for your teams that don't make the playoffs, have a point system for where you get like a point every time you beat a team with a better record than you.
Oh.
So in that case, the teams that are good teams right on the edge of the playoffs, they're not going to get points because there are not many teams they could beat that are better than them. So their chances of winning are going to be at the bottom. Your bad teams who are occasionally beating teams better than them will be rewarded for playing quality games all throughout the season. Even though you're having a tough year, if you get those wins against teams that are better than you, your chances of getting that is going to be good basketball. Plus, it's going to be ass teams, and the good teams really don't have a chance. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. So I think that's the dopest idea I've ever seen for this. But you know why they don't happen? Because the NBA can't control that.
Can't control that.
But they can tell you that we're the Wizard of Oz is back there doing ping pong ball games, and we'll tell y'all who gets to pick. Like, bro, it's so obvious that this is like bullshit, bro. It's like I don't really know what people need to see. But I will say this as far as the Giannis thing. There's one piece of context that people are taking out. First of all, Giannis did the most gentlemanly way of telling y'all, yeah, well, I'm out, man. Like, I want to be gone or whatever. But he never said he wanted to leave. He said he's open to leaving. But I think that the interpretation that he does want to go is what it is. I think he's finding a very political way to get out of Milwaukee, and I think that they may look into doing that for him. I think they will do right by him. But at the end of the day, man, like all these things that Giannis is saying about, and now people are playing Guess Who or whatever with Giannis, and like he's saying, oh, I want to go to a state that whatever, like doesn't have income tax and all that, whatever state, whatever. And now we're playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego with what Giannis is saying. Aging myself on that, of course. But man, there are other factors going to come into this. Like Milwaukee's going to do the best trade for Milwaukee. They're not going to do just this custom made trade where they send Giannis to Miami, and Miami still keeps Bam, and they still keep Tyler Hero, and they keep that's not happening, bro. Like, they're not just gonna send him somewhere for some money that adds up to Giannis. I think people have to understand this, bro. Giannis Antetokounmpo for that Milwaukee Bucks organization that's been around since the very beginning. I want to say they were an original NBA team. You're talking about Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, and this dude. like you're talking about probably the best player who's
Kareem played for him.
What did I say?
Oscar.
I said Will Chamberlain. I mean Kareem.
Yeah,
no,
Kareem.
Kareem. Yeah, not Will Chamberlain. You're talking about Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and this dude. Like that's how far you're talking about as far as the history of this team, right? And I don't think Milwaukee is that quick to say, okay, I'm going to trade this guy in his prime, and let me make the Golden State Warriors like legacy stretch out longer. Hey, just run me Jonathan Kuminga and we'll be fine. Like, no, man, like it's not going to be that type of deal for Giannis. And I've been holding this to say this. I hadn't said this on Twitter, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I think people have to kind of expand their horizons to what Giannis trade could look like because of the caliber player you're talking about, who's still in his prime. He's only 30 years old. If I am Milwaukee, if I call Denver, how fast is Denver going to hang up the phone if I say, hey, let's do Jokic for Giannis right now? I'm asking you, Kim. You're Denver. You think Denver's going to hang up the phone fast?
Hell yeah.
If I said Jokic for Giannis right now?
I would say no.
All right.
Absolutely not.
You would say no, right?
Yes.
But is it outside the realm of possibility if I said, hey, okay, Mr. Denver, like, don't hang up the phone so fast. Like, you know that guy you got? Do you really think he's going to play in the NBA more than 4 or 5 more years before he says, I'm done with this crap? Come on, man. Just go ahead and trade us to Fat Boy. Here's Giannis. Well, I'm not saying that's happening. I'm not predicting that to happen. I'm not saying that's likely to happen. But what I'm saying is, with a player at the level of Giannis Antetokounmpo, bro, nothing really is off the table when we're talking about trades. If I'm Memphis and Milwaukee says, hey, I'm about to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo. Give me your young star. I'll give you a guy who's squeaky clean. He even say nothing crazy. He even do nothing crazy. He's going to play 70-something games a year. Is Memphis going to say, oh, hell no. No, bro, he's gone. Like, if Milwaukee calls Memphis about Ja, like, Ja's gone. Like, this happened. If he calls Boston, hey, I know Jason Tatum just had an injury. Let's do Giannis for Tatum. All right, bro, where do I sign? Like, it's gone. He's gone. And, like, we're thinking that there's going to be some charity case trade. I just don't think that's going to be the case, bro. I think this could be a star-for-star level trade if you're talking about a guy like Giannis. You could catch a team and say, hey, if Oklahoma City loses this playoff series to Denver, and you say, hey, let's do SGA for Giannis, you think Oklahoma City's going to say no?
Come on, man. I mean, I think you're talking about, obviously you mentioned a bunch of players there. When you talk about Jokic and SGA right now, you're talking about MVP caliber player.
Yeah, right? You're talking about MVP level player in Giannis too, though. And people think you're gonna get them for freaking Desmond Bain. Like, no, bro, that's not happening.
Well, no, like, my theory on it is Milwaukee is they're at some point gonna have to consider like what it looks like to rebuild their franchise, right? To start from scratch.
Because they're going to be ass for a while.
Because they're going to be bad for a while. Even with Giannis.
Dame's out. Yeah, even with him.
Even with Giannis. And so the star-to-star idea doesn't make sense to me because why would Milwaukee trade a star and still have shit on their roster, right?
Because they want to be relevant, bro.
But for me,
I'm not trading. I'm not sending him to San Antonio for the dude with the Dennis Rodman hair and the kid is just on Rookie of the Year. Like, no, I'm not giving you that, bro. Like, I'm not sending him. Like, I'm not giving you Devin Vassell. And like, no, I'm not trading one of the best players in the history of my organization for parts. Like, that's not happening, bro.
Unless you're trying to rebuild your roster around a number 2 draft pick who could potentially be your next guy. Right? Like, who could potentially be the next guy for your franchise, right? Like, so if you go, we got the number 2 draft pick, this draft specifically because of how loaded it is, will be more than likely a franchise type player. Then you add in the Stephen Castle, you add in the Devin Vassils, you add in the Keldon Johnsons, you add in those guys, make the money work. Why would Milwaukee not do that?
Hell no, I'm not doing that crap.
You're rebuilding your franchise around.
I got one of the best players in. I got one of the best players in the league, and I'm gonna sit down with Giannis and be like, Giannis, you my guy. I understand, bro. We want the best for you, but get your agent on the phone and tell him to go find a trade that makes sense. I'm not trading you for Dennis Schroeder. Like no, bro. Like it got to be something that makes sense. I mean, this Milwaukee front office has been a shrewd, smart, like opportunistic front office, bro. These aren't goofballs. You know what I mean? These dudes went out and got, Drew Holiday. They went out and made it. I mean, that whole this Damian Lillard thing looking kind of crazy, especially in hindsight. I didn't like it when they did it, but they've done the moves to stay good. You know what I mean? But it clearly looks over. But I don't think, like I saw somebody saying something about Steph and Giannis have this connection. I'm like, bro, like there's no way Milwaukee's gonna send Giannis to Golden State for freaking Moody and and Podzinski. Come on, bro.
Right.
Like they ain't happening, bro. Like this just ain't happening. Like they're not that goofy. They're not just gonna say let's be ass for the next 10, 15 years, to stretch out Steph Curry's run or whatever. So
I don't
it's gonna
know.
be interesting, man. I just can't see it going down like that.
If I'm a GM and I'm looking at a team like Milwaukee, you build through the draft. You don't build necessarily through free agency and trying to go get players with an aging Giannis, with a team that's just kind of not good around him.
Yeah.
I mean, they traded what's his name? They traded for what's his name from Washington, Kyle Kuzma. That dude's just not good. They don't have people to build around. Like they just don't.
What kind of picks is he gonna get if he send him to Miami and they take some trash back? Miami's gonna be good as hell. You can. That's why I think. 20s.
But that's why I think San Antonio is set up perfectly, because now with this number 2 draft pick, they didn't have the assets to make the trade for Giannis until they got this number 2 draft pick, who will be more than likely a franchise player for them moving forward.
I don't know nothing about none of these dudes in the draft other than Cooper Flag.
It is a really deep draft this year.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
So that's why I look at it and I go, if you're trying to, if Wemby's the one guy who could be the face of the NBA that's not an American-born player, which I think he could be with his skill set, with his eyes, the alien
marketability,
the marketability.
Like him,
everybody loves him, right? You add, like, one of the things you don't want to do, you want to fast track. If you're the NBA, you want to fast track success for them. What's the best way to do that? Go get them a veteran that's one of the best players in the history of the NBA.
If I'm Milwaukee, I'm like, look, I see how y'all do things. Y'all got to come harder than how y'all did with Dallas. If I'm about to give y'all Giannis and make them folks turn, if I'm about to turn the Spurs into what they're about to be,
back into a dynasty again, like they were.
You got to give me an egregious 5-year first round picks in a row. Number 1 in a row.
I'm gonna need 5 first rounders in a row. Or 5 first.
But imagine this conversation as we wrap this up, man. Imagine the conversation when it came to Nico, when Adam Silver sat down with Nico and sat down with Dallas Mavericks governor, and they had this conversation. And they said, "Look, we need to take Luka off you guys' hands and send him to LA." And Nico was like, "Man, you're talking about a market where we have the white savior from the motherland on our team. Like, you really think I'm just about to just send this dude to LA?" He said, "But Nico, think about it.
We're gonna get you Cooper Flag.
You're about to get the most an American white boy, the best American white player since Larry Bird himself, man."
Right.
Nico said, "All right."
And he's gonna go to a franchise that literally has remained relevant with the 2 greatest white superstars in the NBA outside of Nikola Jokic, with Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Doncic.
And not just that, man. Like, all of it makes sense, because what was Nico saying? Defense wins championship. Right? Defense. And then you get this guy who's a guy who's expected to be a high-level 2-way player day one coming to the league. Like, man, come on.
One of the most can't miss dudes that's come out in the draft. It's crazy.
One of the best college basketball players ever in one season. And y'all think that.
Just think about it this way, dude. In no other industry does the industry that has a monopoly over the entire industry, like the NBA,
do they leave things like this to chance?
Do they leave things to chance? In no other industry do they leave things to chance. And so why would we think that the NBA, which is a gazillion-dollar industry company, like, why would we think
it's going to risk Cooper Flag going to Charlotte?
That they're going to risk Cooper Flag going to damn Washington Wizards or damn Charlotte
Utah
Hornets or whatever it may be. Like,
and why do you think that these teams who tank their ass off are not getting rewarded? Like, Adam Silver's letting y'all know, bro. I'm not fooling with y'all.
I don't care.
I'm sending them to teams and organizations that are gonna make sense. Yeah, man. I wish they had thought about us last year when they did all that. But
shout out to them for thanks for Ja Morant, though. Honestly,
we do appreciate y'all for Ja Morant for sure.
Thank you for that. But it makes sense because I've heard the Memphis Grizzlies, even by Memphis fans, be used as reasons to show that this is not rigged. And my response to it is you got to look at the conversations that Adam Silver has been having, right? Like, what is the most important to him? The way you broke it down, I cannot wait to clip this out and show it to everybody because like it is literally about making the most money possible. And what do you do?
You got to raise your floor.
You got to raise your floor. And that's what they did with New Orleans and with Memphis.
About to stimmy on the league, man. For sure. But man, we're about to take a break, man. I was going to talk about the playoffs. I don't feel like talking about that. Y'all see what's going on. Real fast though, man. Cleveland Cavaliers. Man. I do not understand why Cleveland lost this series. The Pacers got their ass up out of here. Even with the injuries, man. I'm not going to go off like my boy CJ hurt, but even with the injuries, Cleveland had opportunities to win the games in this series, and they just moved.
They only missed one of their guys. Like they only missed their three guys.
And they should be able. When I saw the Pacers came back and beat them in that game tonight, I was like, all right, bro, like this. This is weird. Like I don't understand why Cleveland lost this series.
Yeah, it makes sense.
The Knicks coming out the East, it looks like this is gonna be inevitable.
Wild.
You talk about like rigged, right? Of course, you talk about the WWE. Like this is literally a WWE setup. They did this last year. Like they had the WWE involved in this, and it was Halliburton and
Jalen Brunson
with the WWE, right? Like they had this whole thing set up last year,
right?
Like for real on wrestling, they had these folks doing it. But I think the Knicks coming out of the East is going to be crazy. I don't even remember the Knicks ever. The last time the Knicks went to the finals in my lifetime was during the O.J. Simpson trial. That's how long ago you're talking about. So that looks like they're in. Looks like they're about to do it, man. Looks like all the things this summer that they did, that they went all in on, is going to get them to the finals. So I don't think that Pacers team is going to be able to deal with the Knicks at all. Outside of injury like last year. And for the love of God, man, if I see the Pacers go to the finals, man, I'm just going to be like, all right, bro. Like, get this out of here. Sad news about Jason Tatum, of course, taking the injury. Probably going to miss most, if not all, of next year, too. Which, man, and we've never seen Tatum get hurt. Like, I think he's never missed consecutive games in his career or something like that, which is nuts.
What's wild is they already had the surgery. It happened last night, and they had the surgery already.
Yeah, man, the instant surgery.
They gave him the Aaron Rodgers Achilles surgery, bro.
Man, we don't want you missing nothing but what you got to miss. The Nuggets and the Thunder in the fourth quarter. Nuggets are up by 8. They would put them up 3-2. I said by the time we come back, we'll be looking at 3-1 the Thunder way, Kenny. And that did not happen. Consider me happy if the Thunder get put out. Yes. Trust me. I do not mind. They ain't my damn team, so I would consider me happy for sure if they end up losing. We'll go take a break, man. We'll come back. We'll talk about something that I'm not looking forward to. I don't think anybody asked for, and I'm going to tell you how it's going to end up. But, you'll get news before it happens here with Anthony Sain on the Anthony Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
The Grizzlies make it official. They are sticking with Tomas Isalo as their head coach. Boy, I better get that down. Tomas Isalo.
There you go.
Pretty good. Tomas Isalo. But the problem is, that's pretty good, but the problem is every time I say it, I have to stop before I say it. Well, the Grizzlies today made a move as Tomas Isalo announced that
Sounds like a twitch that kicks in.
I mean, it's kind of rough. But Tomas gets the job. We got to start calling him Coach T.I. How's that?
That's what we definitely got to call him that.
Coach T.I. Coach T.I. Gets the head coaching job, and I don't think a shock.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. My biggest fear, honestly, Christian, moving forward, is that I feel like this is becoming a David Jones situation. And another person that I would say is kind of becoming like is a Lester Quinones type of situation. I did a few interviews with Lester during that time period after he made his decision to stay in the draft. He told me the reason why he stayed in the draft is because he was guaranteed a draft pick.
I don't know why guys still fall for that.
And guess what? They did not. Can't hate on the kid for this, but his dream is to play in the NBA. Right. And if given the option, he would play in the NBA next year instead of playing in college basketball. I'm afraid that what's going to happen is that there's going to be some level of conversation where he's promised a spot and then he'll be languishing in the G League for a couple of years instead of come back, play another year of NCAA basketball, making multi-millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. I'm on Facebook, man. Just catching up with the crazy shit going on in the city of Memphis, man. Sit y'all ass down somewhere, bro. We'll talk off the air, man. It's too much shit going on. It's Memphis has a clear divide, man. You got black Memphis and you got white Memphis, bro. Black Memphis is acting a goddamn fool.
What?
I'll catch you up, man. We gotta do better. We gotta do better as a city, man. For the kids, we gotta do better. But anyway, bro. Kenny, something I talk about all the time is how the NBA is the most hating ass league in all of sports from the old heads. Right, I talk about how because of the way the NBA is set up, where there's 60 new guys coming in every year, right? 60 draft picks, 15-man teams. How because of the CBA and all those type of things, the NBA kicks dudes out of the league before they're physically not able to play anymore. They're the only league where you see guys that still got some juice left that aren't there anymore because, they just the numbers game. The guys are kicked out of the league before it's time, right? And because of that, you have a lot of guys who they'll hop on a podcast, they have a show, they'll hop on TV, and they'll just hate a bunch of hating ass shit that you get from a lot of these former players, right? And if I was to sit down and say, okay, how would I remedy this, right? Like, what guys would I actually put on TV? JJ Redick was a good ambassador for today's
great
game,
ambassador.
Right? I want to say
I would have said Patrick Beverly about a year ago, but that man's been
a clown too. Maybe Gilbert Arenas gives guys props a lot, even though he says some wild shit. Yes. There are dudes in today's NBA that he really does give props to. Kevin Garnett, probably the biggest ambassador for today's game.
Yeah.
Right. These are the type of guys I would just love to see more of on TV. Right. Give me a show like hire Kevin Garnett to do commentary. I will watch it.
TNT had that for a little bit. Remember, they had that room. They had a part of the broadcast, and that lasted for like one season.
Another dude who I think is Quentin Richardson. I saw him and I want to say him and Darius Miles, was it? Corey McGetty, maybe him and somebody. They were doing some play-by-play stuff. It was kind of like the little kind of at-home thing, like while they're watching the game and the kind of stuff that Sue Bird and them do for the WNBA games. It was something like that they did. But like there's a few guys who really give props to today's game, right? Mm-hmm. For some reason, the people at NBC Sports said, let me get the ultimate hater, pettiest dude in the history of the NBA, dust his ass off, whatever the hell he's been doing. A guy who we ain't heard say shit on shit in a long time. Let's go get his airness. Not Michael B. Jordan, but let's go get I would have probably preferred to see Michael B. Jordan do a college commentary over this dude, but Michael Jordan, the GOAT, Kenny Summerfield, will be doing commentary for NBC Sports. I'm hoping this is a special appearance.
There's no way they got him to do sideline commentary, right? Like, what are they going to have him do?
For the levels of petty, hating ass shit that Michael Jordan is going to be saying and doing while commentating these games, is going to piss me off so bad. Like,
there's a video of Michael Jordan when he owned the Charlotte Bobcats or the Charlotte Hornets or whatever they were.
Man, and talking crazy.
And Malik Monk played for them. And there's a video of him on the sideline. Malik made a mistake in the game, and Michael's talking to him and slaps that man in the back of the head. if that doesn't show you exactly like there's zero, that's a grown man that you just did that to. Like that to me is like I love Michael Jordan as a player,
Man,
but that is it. I don't want to see him owning another team.
I don't want to see him running a team, making decisions for a team, because that man was straight ass as an owner and as a GM, like straight up.
I don't want to see him talking about the team, about games. I don't. Oh my gosh, dude, it's gonna be terrible, terrible.
Oh, it's gonna be beyond terrible, my boy. That shit. Oh man, I can't remember who I was talking to, but somebody was like, "Oh, the Grizzlies need to go get a GM that's like a former player, man. Somebody that knows the game." So, like Michael Jordan, like the GOAT, you get somebody like him. But man, oh my God, the stuff he's gonna be saying is probably gonna be funny for a little bit. After a while, all right, bro, get this hating ass shit out of here, bro. Like I don't pack him up, man. Like I don't want to hear this, bro. And that has nothing to do about his playing career. Michael Jordan, if you say he's the GOAT, he's the GOAT. If you say he's not the GOAT, I can have arguments for that too. Whatever you want to do, bro. I mean, he's one of the greatest players ever picked up a basketball, no matter how you want to describe that. But as a commentator, I can tell you it's gonna be so trash. Like if people, I'm seeing people talk about, oh man, this is huge. Like no, it ain't, bro. Michael Jordan ain't really had much to say about nothing over the last 30 years of the NBA, and I really don't care what he has to say.
Why? Like, why didn't they go get Jalen Rose? Like, why has NBC not gotten Jalen Rose?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't. Why? Like, who's out there saying? I wonder what Michael Jordan has to say about today. Like, who gives a damn, bro?
We had another example of the hating after the Cleveland Indiana game tonight. Did you see Kendrick Perkins? What he said?
Ain't no telling. What he say?
This man tweeted out, "A Donovan Mitchell-led team has never been to a conference finals. I don't care how you slice it, but this season for the Cavs is a total failure."
Man, the man was averaging 40. Like,
man, averaged 35 points a game. I'm knocking stuff over here. Like, what are we talking about?
Man, I'm tired of these dudes, bro. Get these hating that, man. Bro, it is so. No other sport does this, bro. Like, no other sport does it, like at all. Like, no other sport does anything close to this weirdo shit, bro. Man, this shit is crazy.
Donovan Mitchell kept that team in this series, even though they lost 4-1. They would have lost by 30 every game if Donovan Mitchell wasn't playing. That dude is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and a guy like Kendrick Perkins, who had to latch on to the Boston Celtics with Kevin Garnett, with Ray Allen, with Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo. That's how he got his ring. Yet because he's got a ring, apparently this dude's now able to talk about basketball in a way and hate on dudes like Donovan Mitchell. And I'm like, it's this weird dynamic, Anthony.
Man,
I don't
crazy.
understand.
I don't understand it. It's absolutely crazy. And I know Adam Silver just be like, man, I wish I could rig y'all ass up out of here. But like, these are the people that that are paying the NBA to cover their product, and this is how they're handling the product. It's sick. Like and Michael Jordan, like imagine the shit this dude's gonna do, especially with LeBron's playing, man. Oh my God. You know they're gonna have him covering nothing but Laker games probably, just so you can say shit about LeBron. And man, if I was out there, I'd be no, you wouldn't, bro. We saw you, we saw you, bro. Like you were not that good, bro. You weren't doing this at 40.
It's not like we've heard Michael Jordan talk and been like, yeah, man, he's a pretty engaging speaker, right? Like he's a pretty engaging dude to listen to.
Like, I ain't heard Michael Jordan say nothing on this side of his career at all that I can remember. I'm good. Like I don't know why people want to see this. But anyway, speaking of hating though, Kenny Stubblefield, we're gonna talk Memphis Tiger basketball. Well, you know the shade is coming out.
Oh no. I'm
gonna tell y'all what y'all not gonna do to me, man.
I'm
gonna tell you what y'all gotta do. Shout out to Roman Cleary. He tried to let y'all know. The Tigers got a kid that committed today, 6'8", forward from Lane College. I didn't know white kids went to Lane. I thought Lane was about the biggest, the blackest the blackest non-HBCU school. I didn't know white kids went to Lane. I didn't know. I'm sure they got some. I didn't know, but I definitely didn't know they had basketball players. I didn't know they had white basketball players in Lane. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. But Lane College, 6'8", forward. Roman Cleary let y'all know this kid's probably going to be a walk-on. And I'm glad he said that.
He's not. He's a scholarship.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry.
All right, y'all.
Sorry.
I'm gonna tell y'all what he's not. Good.
Hey, Hey, the man for Lane College. Do you know what his shooting splits were last year?
Kitty, I've seen this before. There was a kid we had a few years ago.
Jonathan
I
Pierre.
said y'all, right. When I say y'all, I'm talking about the people who get excited about these dudes. There's a kid y'all had a few years ago. Oh, Sain, he's 6'9", he can shoot. He's a 6'9", he's a versatile defender. He shot like so and so. I said, kid, that dude's a pro. Like the guy you just described is in the NBA draft. Like he ain't going to Memphis.
He ain't D2. He didn't come from a D2 school.
Right. The kid you just described right now is an NBA player. You just described Trey Murphy. Like, what are you talking about, bro? And when he came here, the kid was ass. Like, whoever this dude is, shout out to him. Just the fact that he's a white dude who went to Lane College to play basketball.
Well,
for that alone, I give you props, brother. But this dude's probably ass.
Well,
Penny, I love you. I trust you. Penny might see something.
Yeah.
Don't nobody else see.
He's 6'9", 48% from the 3-point line, 98% from the free throw line.
All right, let's see him actually do that with black dudes on the court.
Hey, he went to Lane. He went to Lane, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about with actually good basketball players that are black on the court. Let's see if he's able to do those same things. Because there's another dude that we switched back to the NBA who's one of the best shooters of all time. But something about actually being out there with black dudes who like clapping his face. Like, it all went away.
Play defense.
Right, it all went. Athleticism. It all went away. The shooting meant nothing when it came down to some actual dogs been on the court with him. But
that man's a great practice 3-point shooter. He's good in the gym.
This dude's a scholarship player for real.
Well, there's a new rule that's out. There's no walk-ons anymore. So there's 15 roster spots, 15 scholarships. Everybody that plays on a roster now is scholarship.
All right, I feel a lot better. Like, all right, Penny, you getting kind of losing your shit right now. You said something today on the show that Curtis Givens, the third. Yep, Lil Curtis. Yep, Lil Curtis is getting a visit with Memphis, and if they do get a commitment from him, that pretty much signals that they're out on the whole
PJ Haggerty.
PJ Haggerty sending like little emo Instagram posts and all this type of stuff, and that dude is. I'm gonna make a prediction. He's not gonna end up in Memphis, but he's gonna regret the way he went about his thing. Like I don't know if he's gonna go to the NBA and just do the G League thing, but I think he's kind of squandering. I think he's gonna end up squandering a lot of money. I think he's going to look up in opportunities that even if he goes and he makes good money, I think he's not going to get as much money if he had just stayed in Memphis and got the most that Memphis could have got him. I think Memphis would have opened up the checkbook for him in the very beginning.
He has guaranteed $3 million from Memphis plus opportunity to get at least $500,000 more.
And Memphis going to pay you. Like you ain't got to worry about your money.
You ain't got to worry about that.
You ain't just saying shit.
That's not the way.
Mildred and them going to cut you a check and make you a dozen cookies, man. We're not going to play with you, bro. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, and so that is my concern. I've said this. I said this last week. I said it this week. I said it. You saw it in the commercials in the during the show. My biggest fear for PJ is that he is going to listen to agents that are desperately wanting just to get as much. Like I just want clients, right? Like I want clients that have pro contracts that I can make my 3, 4, 5% off of.
Yep,
and that's it's happened to. Yep. It's happened to multiple Memphis Tiger players over the last couple of years. Lester Quinones, David Jones being finessed, being lied to, saying guaranteed. Golden State, Lester Quinones' agent told him Golden State promised him the 17th pick in the first round of the draft.
Hell no, Lester knew that was a lie.
No, he believed it. That's why he stayed in the draft.
That's what I'm saying. He should have known that was a lie.
And he stayed in the draft and then got undrafted, got picked up by Golden State. And is now languishing in the G League, making $250,000 a year.
Yeah, Lester would have been. I mean, he got his paper, but he
got his paper. You don't
benefited from another year. He probably would have looked slick dominant if he'd came back to college another year.
It'd have been awesome. He'd have been awesome. But that team, it was Penny Hardaway's best team with Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams.
Yeah. Who lied to David Jones at?
I don't even know the team. I don't know the team that did. I don't know the team that did. But.
Yeah,
David Jones, it's frustrating to me, man. Like these guys are, and Gary Parrish put it perfectly. He is going to absolutely make a decision that is going to cost him the biggest payday he will ever see in his basketball career.
That man is just gone, stop playing, and just come back to Memphis. I'm not saying that as a Tiger fan, I love to see that kid back. But I think he's about to make a silly decision. I think he's about to
lose a lot of money.
Stay where you know, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta, go what they say, dance with the girl you brought to the party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
dance with the
just
girl who got you there.
Yeah, come back to Memphis, man. Get the money. If we gonna take care of you, you know that. And like I like what you said today too. You was like, if he want to come back, Memphis needs to take him back. I don't give a damn who you lose. Like that kid can play, bro, and you know he can play. You know what I mean? It'll make you feel really good, especially if you can get Danger back as well. Yeah.
The team that Penny has built around those guys.
The team is good. Yeah,
it's better than what they had last year. It's better.
He's deeper.
Like they're deeper. They got more
bench a little deeper. Just that perfect number of depth, bro. But if you get those two boys back, you cooking for sure.
And if you lose a guy like and I'm gonna say if you lose a Sincere Parker because he wants to have a starting
never
role,
heard of you, brother.
Who cares, bro? You didn't
sincerely don't give a damn.
You sincerely didn't start for your McNeese State team. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, what do we like? You know what you get in PJ Haggerty. You know what you get, and so there's not a single player that Memphis has gotten in this. I'm excited for what Penny has done in this transfer portal season, but there's not a single player that Penny has picked up that I say you take that kid over PJ Haggerty.
PJ Haggerty for sure. But we'll see how this whole thing plays out, man. I think it's gonna be a good season for Memphis this year. Either way. Memphis Louisville coming back, man. I love to see it. We're at that age, Kenny, where we heard about the good old days of Louisville. We weren't actually a part of that.
Yeah.
I do remember Purvis Ellison being a little kid, being little bitty, when we first like the tail end of that whole Louisville thing. But I do remember the Darius Washington stuff. I remember the Conference USA rivalry. I remember all of that. But the Metro and Missouri Valley, I went around for that. But the Conference USA Memphis Louisville rivalries, I definitely remember that. Francisco Garcia, Antonio Burks. I was around for all that. But man, I would love to see them keep that thing going for sure. But
my pops.
Yeah, go ahead.
I talked to my pops about that, and I was like, what do you think? And he said there's a lot of teams that I hate, but Louisville's the number one team that I hate over everybody. And I
grew up as a little kid hating Louisville and really didn't know why. Like my dad, hey, you need to hate this team. I bet. So,
did you hear the news tonight though? Real quick breaking news. John Calipari announced it. It's something that I've kind of set on for a while, but apparently the St. Jude Tipoff Classic is happening again this year. Arkansas versus Memphis.
Oh man, I ain't know that. For real?
For real.
Damn. I ain't seen none of this shit today. I was at work. So it's this year, Memphis versus Arkansas. The game, the one game.
The North Carolina game that they had this past year.
That's gonna be fine.
Arkansas,
Memphis,
John Calipari,
and bro, that's gonna be fine.
And what John talked about was he was like, "We'll do it, but you got to bring my 2018 back and let's celebrate them."
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. How the hell I ain't see that shit?
Yeah, bro.
That shit's like it would have been everywhere on my Twitter.
Yeah,
I ain't see that at all. That's fine. Hell yeah, that's fine, bro.
Yeah,
your ass probably been sitting on it, knowing it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Calipari's in town for something at Ghost River sometime this month.
He's there. He's here tonight. He was here tonight. They're doing an Arkansas fan club type of thing at Ghost River. Yeah. He was doing an interview.
Gonna get it. Whoever, hey, if you bring people, we got something for you.
Yeah.
At Ghost River for sure. Well, man, it's been a good one, Kenny, as always, bro. Friday show is gonna be off the chain, man. We're doing something a little different. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it's gonna be. Still got some stuff we gotta, take care of before we can do that, man. But I got a cool dude who's coming on Friday who's doing some great things in the city of Memphis, man. Going back to the way things used to be. Talking about this Louisville Memphis thing, man. Take y'all back to something else that was big during the 80s, man. He's taking it back to the roots, man, for sure. We'll talk about who that person is gonna be. You'll see on Friday. But yeah, man. Until then, for Kenny Stubblefield, it's your boy Anthony Sain. We'll see y'all Friday, man. Oh, we got a special announcement coming Friday for y'all ass too. You'll see it, man. We ain't finna go too far into the future on y'all ass, man. Yeah. But we'll talk about that Friday. But for my boy Kenny Stubblefield, it's Anthony Sain. See y'all Friday, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.